Hey everybody, my name's Andrew Matson. Sorry if I seem up close to the screen or I seem super small on YouTube. I'm shooting on my iPad today rather than my normal laptop. It broke. Very big inconvenience. But anyways, we're still here, we're giving this, so let's get on with it. So the Devonian period dawned around 416 million years ago, when Earth's appearance was altering. It's part of the Paleozoic era, or the Age of Fishes. The two supercontinents at the time were Gondwana and Euramerica. They were both located in the south and drifted in a northerly fashion. Euramerica was also called, or is referred to today as the Old Red Continent, due to the red rock formations from the Devonian period. At the end of the period, these two continents had a huge collision and formed a massive granite formation, also, as we know today, or commonly referred to as the Appalachian Mountains. Climate at this time was very warm and very dry, with very little ice formation compared to today. But towards the end of the era, with rise of oxygen levels, we saw these glacier formations happen in southern polar regions. Time period also had much less of a temperature change from polar to equator as it does today. The large influx of oxygen came from many sources, but here are some of them. Lycophytes are the oldest vascular plants. They reproduce by shedding spores. Some examples of these may be club moss or scale trees. Horsetails, on the other hand, reproduce by spores as well, but are often odd-looking small little dinker plants. They have a single hollow jointed stem, so they could be big, small, but they're just really weird looking. The most increase in oxygen came obviously from trees and when forests began to arise. Trees at the time period could be up to 100 feet tall and 3 feet in diameter, similar to modern day conifers, but with not really leaves, more of like ferns coming off of them almost. But without this may have drastically lowered the CO2 levels to the point of global cooling, which, back to the glacier point, that's what caused that. Early insects of the time, however, though, are Rhinella precursor, which are flightless hexapods with antennas and segmented bodies, which could have led to the evolution of millipedes, arachnids, and centipedes. Now, finally, that we get to move on to the cool stuff, the Age of Fish, actually. So, the most feared fish at the time would have been the placoderms. Monstrous fish, up to 33 feet in length. So they were huge armor-plated fish. They didn't really actually have teeth, though, more of like a grinding motion. So they ate like shells and stuff. But they did shear other fish in half, though. What arose from these were two groups: bony fish, which are most fish today, and then also became another group, which was basically the ancestors of sharks and stingrays. Then there was another group also. They were called lobefish, which had fleshy pectoral and pelvic fins, which articulated with a pelvis with a single bone. Some were capable of breathing air through the top of their skulls. They're the ancestors of all tetrapods, which include amphibians and reptile groups. That's pretty broad range. The earliest tetrapod is known as Tiktaalik rosé, which could breathe air and had very strong hind legs and a crocodile head. That thing sounds pretty scary to me. Now, moving on, at the end of this discussion, I would like to talk about the Keltwasser event, which is said to be caused by the depletion of CO2 levels. It killed the great coral reefs, jawless fish, and trilobites, which this event is associated also with the Big Five, which is the biggest mass extinction events on planet Earth as we know it. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.